I want to ask if anybody that's present with us today is connected to a gentleman who passed away of something in their brain. This could be like an Alzheimer's, a dementia, it could be a traumatic experience. He could have fallen or gotten hit in the head. If I had to gauge whether this was like internal, like, Alzheimer's or dementia or something, I would say I lean more toward an accident of some kind or some kind of head trauma, a fall or a car accident, something that would have done that. If it's not that, it could also be like a brain aneurysm because this would be something that like grabs them unexpectedly almost. So this is a gentleman. Is anybody in our group today connected to anybody like that?
Damn.
Okay. And you are Morgan?
Mhm.
Okay, Morgan. Let me just spend a moment with this gentleman. When I connect with him, also, there's other things that happened as well. So, was this an accident? Because I do have other injury type of scenario when I'm connecting with him. Also, he wraps his arms around you and he like picks you up and gives you a big bear hug. So this is somebody that is allowed to be smacking your energy. So I would go with like a boyfriend, a brother, a father, that type of scenario because he's right next to you. He does seem very peer connected to you. So if he's a father, then he was a really good friend, even though he was your dad. Otherwise, I would assume that he would be a peer. Who is this gentleman to you?
Yeah, this is my friend Alex.
Okay. And then can I ask if you hear him? Because he's telling me that you do hear him or you know when he's around you and you have that kind of connection with each other. And that happened even before he passed.
Yes,
So you
yeah.
had like a connection or an intuition with each other prior to his passing. And he is just thrilled that you're here today. He's also really excited about the current relationship that you're connected to. So are you in a relationship right now?
I am.
He's really happy about that and is happy that you're happy. Like he's happy to see you happy. He's also going to be taking some kind of trip with you before September. So are you getting ready to go someplace prior to September? And he says bring good shoes, but I don't know why you have to bring good shoes. So where are you going that you need a good pair of shoes? Almost like hiking or if you're going to the mountains or something like that.
Yeah, so I actually have a trip coming up where I'm going to the beach, but I talked with my sister about going back to Sedona, Arizona, which last time I was there, I did a lot of hiking and things like that. So, yeah.
Okay, so I think he's encouraging the trip to Sedona and thinking that that's a great idea. He blows you kisses and he says he loves you. He's gonna hang around the whole time that we're connected, because I know initially it's like we don't know what questions we want to ask, and I will save time, for us to reconnect and make have any questions that you guys would have. There's also a lady coming in, and she feels like a grandmom. Is your mom still here on Earth?
Mine, yes.
Yeah, okay. The lady that's coming in, I think, is the grandmother on your father's side. Is your father passed? Or I'm sorry, is your your mom's mother-in-law passed, which would make your father, it would make your father's mother.
Yes.
And there is a lady that's standing there, and that's how she identifies herself, that she's your grandmother. She is a spirit guide of like timing and protection for you. No, I'm wrong. She's telling me, no, I misinterpreted. Hold on. She's coming right through your heart chakra. So she is explaining that she's a spirit guide of emotional support to you. And you are very strong and you kind of suffer in silence. And you tell people you're okay, and she knows when you're not.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so she loves you so much, and she says to say hi to your mom. She acknowledges your mom right away. So, if they had a great relationship, she's saying hi, and that's kind of how she's like lovingly doing that toward her. So that's beautiful. And I want to ask if anyone in the family and your family lost a child due to miscarriage, abortion, or death, because you have a baby angel kind of floating around you and she's so excited to make the connection with you. Who is she to you? Because she's really loves you. You're her family.
So my mom actually lost a baby. She had an ectopic pregnancy and lost a child before she had me.
Okay, well, this lady, this girl, well, let me explain the way that baby spirits come. When they come, they look like little baby angels, and they're like they have rainbow wings when they come. And so that's how I know somebody lost a baby due to miscarriage, abortion, or death. And so she connects, and then we identify who she is, and she says, "You're my family." And then when you confirm that, they start to take their own age. Like I can watch them grow up, which just tells me that you do have like a best friend buddy spirit that likes to give you the chills on your arms and gives you goosebumps all over your body. And when that happens, that's your sister. And she'll be here also the whole time that we are connected. And do you have any questions for them right now? We'll make another pass, but they are just like loving you and putting their arms out to you. And Alex says, and your grandma, like they high five with each other because you're apparently brilliant. You're apparently very, very intelligent and you have a good job. You're very smart. Is that true?
I mean, I like to think so.
Okay, well, they like to think so
I'm
too, but it is something that they are acknowledging education, intelligence, good career, and they are thinking you're very intelligent and you're very smart. So they are kind of agreeing with that. Okay. Now I just want to ask, do you have a cat in heaven?
No.
Okay. I'm being switched to another person, but I'm looking for somebody who's looking for their cat in heaven. Nobody here has a cat in heaven? Anybody have a cat here on earth?
I have a cat in heaven.
And
I have
who
two.
said that? Okay. And that's Amy. You have a cat in heaven?
Yes.
And does anybody else have a cat in heaven?
I
Ina?
do. I do, but it's been a while.
Okay, that's okay. That cat is just trying to lean me toward who I'm supposed to talk to next.
If
But the
it's a
cat
white
I
cat.
have, I'm sorry?
I was just going to say again, from childhood growing up, there we had a white cat. So if it's a white cat, it may be me. But if it's not white, forget it.
Well, this is a really fat cat.
Yeah, no, never mind. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a black cat that has sat on my lap during an appointment with you, but he wasn't fat. He was pretty lean.
Okay. And what about your cat, Amy? Fat?
She was at one point, but not when she passed.
Okay, so she was fat and then something happened and then she became thinner and then she passed when she was thinner. I think that's the cat I'm talking to because I'm supposed to say that this cat is fat and happy now. So if the cat was fat there and then something happened and sickness or whatever and she couldn't eat, but she's totally fine and she just wants to make sure that that's how she makes her connection today because you're like her mama and she loves you and she says thank you for everything that you tried to do for her. You went above and beyond. Is this true? Like you went above and beyond for her?
I don't know that I did that. I tried to take best care of her that I could. She was pretty old when she passed away though, so we didn't do any like intervention or anything for her.
Oh no, you're the best and you're her mama and she's here with a gentleman that is here to connect with you. So can I ask if you have a dad or a grandfather in heaven that passed of something in their chest, their heart, and their lung area? And also I can't really swallow or catch my breath when I connect with this gentleman and he has his hand on your shoulder. So that's a dad or a grandpa.
I have a grandpa in heaven.
And are both of them there?
No, just one.
Okay, and is that your father's father?
No.
Okay.
My mom.
And did he pass of something in the chest, the heart, and the lungs?
Congestive heart failure.
Yep, that would match. And then can I ask if August, September, or June is anybody's birthday or anniversary or celebration? One of those months should match, and I don't even remember which ones I just told you.
Okay, yeah, June.
And whose birthday or anniversary is that?
I'm June. My daughter's September.
Okay, so then that's a good way just for him to kind of confirm that I'm connecting with who I think I am. He is here because he is a spirit guide of divine timing and protection for you. So he's like your earth guide. He says, don't rush. Do you rush all the time?
Yes.
He says, don't rush. He's like your divine timing guy. So go with it. If you're running late, don't worry about it. Just tell him like slow time down for me, grandpa, speed time up for me, grandpa. And my grandpa's my spirit guide of divine timing. Try it. That shit works. No, I'm serious. I'll be like, grandpa, I got 40 minutes to get there and it's an hour drive. Like, how am I going to get there? And I don't know how I get there, but I get there. And if I get there after the time I'm supposed to be there, all the other people are late.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so I can take that time arrangement. And so your grandfather is kind of acknowledging that that's what he does for you. So you don't have to worry about it. Just tell him and he can help you with it.
Okay.
Are you moving? Because
Not-
there's a little bit of sensation that has something moving underneath you. That means you're going to be moving either jobs or you're going to be moving homes.
not in the near future, perhaps in a couple of years.
Is it on your mind for a couple years? Like, are you starting to consider this transition?
Yes.
Okay, then let me ask your grandfather. Oh, are you also looking for a lady over there that's the life of the party?
Yes.
Who is she? Is she your mom?
No, that's my grandma.
She's the life of the party. I want her at all of my parties.
Yeah.
Is that how she was?
Yes. Yes.
That's how she continues to be. Like, she, when she connects, so I'm not discounting your grandpa, but as soon as she came in, he was quiet. Because it was like if you've ever been to like a wedding reception, and you're in the hall and you can hear the glasses and the party and the tinking of the glasses and conversations and everything. So that's where your grandma came from. Like the door opened, and that's what distracted me is like if somebody opened the doors to a wedding reception or something. And then she comes in and she's still dancing from the party. So
Yeah.
I'm supposed to say your grandma is loving heaven and she loves exactly where she's at. And she is the life of the party. She is your principal spirit guide and guardian angel, and you're a lot like her. So you are also the life of the party, is what she says. And people like when you show up at their parties. Is that true too?
I hope so.
Well, it doesn't sound strange that I would say that to you, right? But she matches herself to you in that. She also says that you're a rescuer for people here on earth. You're the friend that shows up. You're the friend that you rescue people for whatever they need rescuing. If I need rescuing because my car broke down, you'll rescue me. If I need like to exhaust my emotional turmoil, you'll be the friend to listen to me. So you're the friend that shows up. You're the friend that your sole job is rescue. So because your sole job is rescue, you might not have a lot of people rescuing you. And they don't know how because it's not their sole job. So don't sacrifice yourself to rescue somebody. You have to be rescued in order to rescue. So that's what your grandma says. Now, I don't know what she passed of, but she says her stomach feels great. But when she says her stomach feels great, my chest hurts. So what happened with grandma?
She had Alzheimer's, so she passed from Alzheimer's, but she had stomach like bariatric surgery
Okay.
long time ago.
Okay, that's probably what she's referencing to me. And so that will be her confirmation to let us know that she's here. Your grandma also really likes my rosary. So is grandma Catholic, or do you have a rosary that belongs to her? Because she says don't forget to pray because she carries your prayers from heaven to earth. And are you walking every day? Because she's putting shoes on you and telling you to go outside for a walk.
No, but I think that I should if she's telling me to do that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, they love you a lot. And who has the pretty penmanship? Do you, or did you write grandma or grandpa a letter? Or do you journal? Because I'm looking at that.
I literally have my journal right next to me right now.
Okay. Whatever you write in that journal, your grandma reads it. And she's like, you have pretty penmanship. And that's what she called it, penmanship. She didn't call it like, oh, you have pretty handwriting. She's like, you have pretty penmanship. So she's like, so that's cute, just the way that that she says it. But she reads your journal. So if you ever have questions that you need answers from heaven, write the questions in the journal.
Okay.
And then give it 3 days. Because anytime you reach out to heaven, they can answer you back within 3 days. So if you get the answer on like day 1, that would be that God facilitated your family member to like make that connection. So that's like a God thing. If you get it on day 2, it's a Jesus thing. If you get it on day 3, it's a Holy Spirit thing. So if you keep that in mind, if it's a God thing, then you can view the return or the response or the sign or the message that you get back from a place of spirituality. If you get the answer on day 2, apply it to earth, right? It's a earth thing because it's day 2 is a Jesus day. Day 3 is your Holy Spirit day. Now apply it to healing. What has to be healed and what is this sign telling you about that? And you can start to make that like an interactive kind of connection with your grandparents. You also have a friend in heaven that's a man, do you?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, can I ask if anybody here, oh, Ina, it might be your husband. Were you guys divorced when he passed?
Yeah.
Okay, because he came in as your like best friend. Like he like came like running in from the past and like ran up to you and gave you a hug. And then I'm like, who's your friend? But then he looks at me and he's like, I kind of know you. And I'm like, okay, did I ever meet him in person?
No,
Okay.
no, but we were married when I first met you.
Right. So he's like, I kind of know you. And I was like, oh, that's why I said, oh, I think that's him.
He also came through when my son talked to you.
Okay.
So you guys,
So he, I feel, is present with us right now. I just want to ask what August, March, or November is significant for anyone in the family, yours or his.
August, we were married. March, our son was born. November,
Just 1 month has to match.
another
but-
son.
Okay, another son. Okay, well, that's,
Yeah.
you know, if you guys, sometimes they give us messages from heaven and, you know, we are connecting then in our soul. So our human brain forgets stuff like our kid's birthday, you know, or like your mom's name, you know, like that could happen too. And so he's just wanting to say, like, he's lifting you up and he's talking about like how great the kids are doing and he feels so proud of you. But is your dad there?
No,
Okay, who's
grandpa?
do I always talk to your grandpa? Because
um,
he's waving at me, which means I have talked to him before.
one of my grandpas have come through. The other one has never.
Okay, which one is tall?
Grandpa Hall, who's come through before.
Oh, that's the same grandpa. He's waving at me. And I'm like, how do I know you from the other grandpa? And so he's a spirit guide of divine timing and protection. But when your husband said that he's proud of you about the kids, he like turns around to your grandpa and like gives him the floor. Like, don't you agree? Like he's asked, you know, like to your grandpa, like, don't you agree? And your grandpa's like, oh yeah. And then your grandpa lifts you up. And when your grandpa lifts you up, he says, congratulations. And he puts confetti over you. Do you have a new job?
I started it last year.
Okay. So they're talking about your job and they're like congratulating you over that. And
It's a
then
great job.
did somebody get a tattoo for your husband or is somebody getting one? Did one of the kids get one?
My middle son got a tattoo, but not for Brian. Although
That's okay.
I've told both of the boys that they should.
Okay, well, that's okay. He's acknowledging you then in that you're telling them, but he's acknowledging one of the kids got a tattoo.
Yeah.
So we can just tell him that his dad likes it. He kind of feels like it's about him, even if it's not about him. Like,
It could be. And
like almost like they would have done that together or he went with him. So it's like it feels pretty personal. Or maybe it's just very personal for your son.
Mhm.
And that's what he's referencing, but they are really acknowledging them. And okay, so I want to ask if your grandma on your mom's side is passed. Do you look like her? Do you belong to that side of the family? Because she claims you to be theirs.
Yeah, that sounds like her. Yeah, I do look a lot like her when she was younger.
Okay, because she matches herself to you, and she says that your whole solar plexus is anew. It's like it's anew. So, all the changes that you've made in your life and everything that's happened, she's really proud of who you've become because it's just shining white light. Also, you are on the right path, and I don't know if you're questioning that, but she tells me like it's an answer, not like it's a message, but like she's answering you. Like if you said, "Am I on the right path?" And
Mhm.
her response is like, "Yes, you're on the right path." And so she talks about that also. Um, are you feeling like called to do something? Like, are
Well,
you feeling a calling inside of you? Because there's
yeah.
something happening in your heart chakra and your solar plexus chakra and your crown chakra, and it's like three balls of white light. And then your grandma is right there. And she's like, "Look at this, look at this, look at this." So when I look at something like that, that to me says somebody is involved in a calling or they're being called.
like
So,
like I mean, I am trying to change something. I work in a school district and I'm trying to like revamp something, and it's gonna be a really big project. If that's the calling you're talking about.
well, they're smiling about it. Did grandma or your husband have light colored eyes, or even your grandpa?
Uh, my grandma, Brian, I don't know what color my grandpa's eyes were. I think they
That's
were
okay.
brown. I think they were,
Okay.
I think Brian and Nanny did.
Had light colored eyes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Because they're showing that to me. I just need to make sure that I'm understanding that correctly because I wanted, um, I forgot what I asked them.
Oh, you were talking about my revamp at school.
Oh, yes. And you
At
said, is
school.
that the calling? And it's yes, it is because it changes things for a lot of people. It is a calling. So go with exactly what you think, exactly what you feel, and exactly what you know, no matter what anybody else says. Because she's trying to say, like, take that and apply it because it's going to work. So
Okay.
they are really excited for you and they're like congratulating you on that. So that's awesome. Do you have any questions for them right now?
Um, does Nanny understand why she died alone?
Well, I can't breathe really well. What did she pass of? Did she pass during
Well,
COVID?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But she was
Be-
asymptomatic. But I mean, I think she died of isolation because they put her in isolation, but she didn't have the symptoms of COVID.
uh-huh.
Yet she died within a week, or maybe it was 2 weeks of isolation. And
I don't feel traumatized, but I do feel labored breathing.
mhm,
So maybe something started to fill up a couple days before or something like that. But that's what she tells me is like her cause of death is through the chest area.
mhm.
So, and yes, you're right, she felt isolated, but that only lasted while she was there because once she went to heaven, there was like a ton of people and she felt great. And so she does acknowledge that, and she says thank you, and thank you for everything you do, that you did for her. But she is a spirit guide to you, and she's the one that's going to help you with this calling.
Cool.
And then,
Um,
do you have a lot of plants or ferns or something about ferns or plants that you have inside the house or that you are?
I still have
I do not have a green thumb, but your grandma's really wanted me to talk about ferns or plants.
I have two peace lilies that were from Brian's funeral that I still have that I haven't killed yet.
Okay, great.
And
Well,
then I
they're
just bought a bunch of plants today that are outside my
oh,
front door.
okay. That's probably, well, I'm gonna say that that's probably what your grandma is talking about, and that's what I was gonna say. And then your husband was like, no, also. So I have to say that's also. Um, both of those things. Even though
I
I was gonna kind of limit it to the plants you bought that grandma's hanging out with you,
okay.
but he's like, no, talk about the things
The
too.
peace
So he's
lilies.
just acknowledging that.
I do have another question.
Sure.
It's either the night Brian died or the
Mhm.
night after. I can't remember. I had a dream that Nanny was like searching a crowded room,
Mhm.
and like I was watching from afar, And her and Brian were pretty close. And then the next morning, I woke up and I think that's when I found out Brian died. And I've just always wondered if she was looking for him as he was passing.
I'll ask her. Did your grandma like to wear a lot of dresses?
Not necessarily dresses, but she always had some flair to her.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, flair. Well, I can't tell if what she has on is like a coat that's flowy or if it's like a skirt or a dress, but she looks snazzy.
Yeah.
Is that how she would look normally?
Yeah. Snazzy
A
and
snazzy
like,
grandma.
snazzy in her clothes from like 1980. Still.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Okay. And then can I hold on one second? Do you have a ring that belongs to your grandma?
I'm wearing it today.
Okay, then yeah, then that's perfect. Then that's her confirmation. So I also forgot what I was talking about with you.
I had asked if she was looking for Brian the night he died.
Oh yes. Okay, so yes, and so I asked the question and then I look for them to give me information that's going to make you say yes or no.
Mhm.
And so I get focused on that next vision and then
Sure.
that other vision is like gone.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you for reminding me of that, but that would be the confirmation to that and that would be a yes then. She
Okay.
was looking for him.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Can I ask if anybody lost anybody in a car accident?
I did in a car, more of a truck, not a car.
That's okay. I'm just more focused on, okay, automobile accident. Or, yeah. Can I ask you if that's a man?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And can I ask also if did he have head trauma or did something happen that took away his like conscious mind? Like did he have a heart attack and his brain went blank? Was he drinking and his
Well,
brain went blank? Something's off. And I can't tell if that's due to the accident because that's the first thing he shows me. And he also says that he loves you. Is this your husband?
no, we had a younger brother that was
Mhm.
killed in a really bad accident, and due to injuries, he lost brain activity, and we had to,
Okay.
donate organs, but it was just a lot of trauma all over. But yes,
Okay,
no
so
brain
that's
activity
gonna
after many days.
and that's the thing that he's kind of identifying for me that he had the accident and then it's like my brain I couldn't tell if it okay. So he is here, but so he's your brother. That kind of goes along with like a peer person in your life, a brother, a husband, but he wraps his arms around you and he just loves you so much. And your mom is still here on earth?
No, she
All right, well
hopefully
then
is
hold
with
on because
him.
then she's coming with him.
Yeah.
If they ask me about somebody and they're not here on earth, it means that that person is going to be joining us also. Can I ask if your mom liked doilies?
No, my grandmother did, but I don't
Ooh,
remember
maybe
my
that's your
mom's
grandma.
doily.
Okay, maybe that's it. When was your grandma the one that had problems with her stomach or her digestion or eating or any diabetes?
No, my mom had her stomach stapled at one point, but
Okay, that's okay because that's just gonna mean I'm waiting for both. So your mom is the one with the stomach staple. Your brother is with your mom, and he's the one that had the accident. And then your grandmother, was your grandmother quieter than your mom?
well, I have two grandmothers in heaven. So my mom's mom or my dad's mom?
Which one was the quieter grandma?
I would have to say my dad's mom.
Okay.
The one that liked the doilies or had doilies.
Okay, so grandma, your dad's mom is the one that likes the doilies. That's the lady that I am connecting with. She is a spirit guide for you of like she's standing up above you and touching your roots. So she's a spirit guide for you of divine timing and protection. And then your mom comes right in next to you. And do you have a bracelet that belongs to your mom? Or did your mom have like a medical bracelet?
No, I have, some of her old jewelry, but not a medical bracelet. No.
Okay, so do you have like an ID bracelet that was hers?
Not my mom's, no.
Whose
Maybe,
ID bracelet
uh,
do you have?
I don't, maybe it's not my people. I just got a do not resuscitate bracelet for my aunt, who's the living sister of my mother.
That's what she's
That,
talking about. Okay, that's okay because she's showing me that like a bracelet and then she's showing me like then when I look closer it looks like a medical bracelet. So if you guys had to get one for her aunt and that's her sister, I'm sure that's what she's trying to acknowledge.
okay,
And so
yeah.
that would just be letting you know that your mom is helping out your mom and your grandmother are with your aunt. They are helping her with that. Your mom is also acknowledging you or giving you gratitude. So are you taking care of your aunt?
Oh man, I had to put her in a nursing home for Alzheimer's the last couple of years, and I just finished her Medicaid application. I'm her power of attorney,
Okay,
and been
because
that way
your
for 2 years. Yeah,
your mom
that was
is
my
like
big.
your mom is
So
like
that
bowing her head at you, and when they do that, that's like, hey, thank you so much. And she said that right after she confirmed, right after we talked about your aunt. So your mom is just so thankful, and your grandma is so thankful for everything that you're doing for your aunt. And I don't know if there's other people that should be doing stuff, but they don't do it. And so that's kind of, you're like on a pedestal. Like they're very, very grateful for that. And are you going on a little road trip? Like, are you driving somewhere on a road trip? Because they're packing suitcases, but the suitcases are going in the car, and then the car is you're not going to a plane, you're taking a road trip. So are you going somewhere like in driving distance for a few days or a vacation? Your mom and your grandma and your brother are going.
Well, I just retired today, and so my schedule plans many little road trips. I hope over the next few years. Yes.
Okay, well, you're going to have some stowaways. They're going to be joining you and having a really good time with you. And your brother says he loves McDonald's. But I want to ask,
Good.
what's the significance of McDonald's? He's literally like, if you have a taste for McDonald's, do you get a lot of taste for McDonald's?
I
Because,
go all the time. They have the best Diet Coke ever. I
oh
eat
my
McDonald's an
gosh,
awful lot.
you
Yeah.
know what? Your brother is like, I have a taste for McDonald's. I love McDonald's. And then I ask you about it, but as I'm asking you about it, he goes, I can make her go to McDonald's.
I go to McDonald's a lot. It's very close, and I'm there many times a week. I'm sorry to say, but I don't mind it. It's good.
Well, I don't know. Some of that, maybe half of the time you're going for yourself, and half of the time you're going for your brother, because he goes, I love McDonald's. And literally he goes, watch this. I can make her go to McDonald's. So
Oh, wow,
I'm sure
yeah.
if you have a taste for something when you're there, your brother gets to enjoy it. So I'm going to have to say your
Okay.
brother vicariously lives through you a little bit. So that's kind of cool.
Very nice. Very nice. I love that. Yeah.
And so they love you. Do you have any questions for them? Your dad do you have a chimney or a fireplace?
I do not. No. No.
Do you have like a vent above your stove?
A microwave with the vent, but nothing crazy.
So I don't know about this because I had never had a microwave above it, but does that get greasy under there? Can that
Yeah,
get
I
greasy
mean,
under there?
yeah, it can get dirty, sure.
Well, your is your dad over there?
He's on Earth, and I want the people in heaven to go get him, and I want to know why they're not going to get him. Can I ask that?
Well, yeah, because I think I'm connecting with him. Is your dad not always in his mind?
Yeah, he's in the mid, Alzheimer's stages. Body's starting to fail. He's getting sick, and he leaves us
Yeah.
sometimes, but he still knows who I am. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of in and out of his body because I think that's the energy that I am connecting with.
Well, I hope so because God bless him. It's time. I need
Not
him to
yet.
go be peaceful. But
Not
yeah.
yet. He's not yet. There's not yet. He keeps
Okay.
looking at Christmas and like he'd really like to have Christmas. I'm not sure if that's
Okay.
like one of his favorite holidays, although he feels like I don't know, he just keeps showing me Christmas. Um,
Okay.
and that doesn't mean that's when he's gonna pass, but that just
Right.
tells me what I take from that when I translate that is he still has some effort to be here. So
Okay.
when
And
I
that's
look at his
I
energy, he
yeah.
kind of shows me that his root chakra is grounded, which means his body just isn't there yet.
Yeah. Okay.
But he
All right.
does love you, and are you helping him also? Or is he with somebody that's helping him?
Yes. He has after my mom had passed early,
And he has
young,
like a wife or a
and he
live-in
has
partner?
a new wife that was, yeah, friends,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, because
And then their daughter lives there and takes good care of them like I do my aunt. She's like
yeah.
my sister, but my stepsister and my stepmother are there and
y-
care for him.
Yeah, when your mom and your grandma reference your dad and they show me initially they were like acknowledging his caregiving and I saw you lean out of your spirit, but then just as I'm talking about that, your mom shows me that he has like a live-in person or a wife or somebody that helps to take care of him
Yeah,
that he's with,
he
and she
still
thinks
lives
that's
at
a good
home.
setup and they do take good care of him. So they
Yes,
actually
they
really
do.
do take good care of him. They're very patient with him. And so they want you to know that he's okay, but he's not ready yet. He still
Okay.
wants to be around here on the earth.
All
And so
right,
all
very
of your
good.
family loves you very much. And
Oh, thank
they will
you.
be here the whole time as well. And can I ask you, Katie, um, do you have a dog in heaven that you're looking for?
My husband has had dogs that have passed, and we got a dog this past. It's coming up to a year in July.
And is that like a black lab kind of dog?
Yeah, he passed away in 2020, and it was really hard.
Okay, I have that dog here, and I've been, he's been kind of sitting here by my feet. It's a boy.
Hmm.
He's kind of like sitting here at my feet, and I'm like, all right, well, you just tell me when you want to talk, and you have to tell me who you want to talk to. Because I don't know, he could be connected. So that's why I'm directing it toward you because he kept drawing me to let you know that he wants to thank you guys and he just loves you so much and he's still around your house and he's coming back. So he does show me that like his energy is still rooted. I mean, he's at the Rainbow Bridge, but I'm like, he's going to the Rainbow Bridge and turning around looking for a body and coming back. So usually when the animals in heaven tell me that, he said his head is fine.
Okay. Yeah,
What happened? Did he have
he
like a
didn't.
seizure or something, or what happened to his head?
No, I'm trying to remember. I think honestly, my husband's youngest brother dropped him when he was a puppy on his head, but he was okay. He passed
Yeah.
away They actually put him down because his hips just went out. Like he was all there mentally. So maybe that's what he's saying. Like he had that was the saddest part. Like he was totally fine, but his hips just gave out and he was in so much pain that they decided to put him down to try and, be humane about it.
Okay, he does. He said his brain is fine. His brain is
Yep.
good. But he's coming back. So usually when the animals tell me that they're coming back, they find you.
So we've been talking about getting another dog when we can get a house with a yard. And because I definitely picked the dog we have now, I keep telling my husband, like, the next one's going to be yours and you figure it out. And like, you get to pick everything. So maybe he'll come back to him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll find him. He'll find a way to do that. Are you looking for your father or your father-in-law?
No, my father and my father-in-law are both here. My father's brother passed, and I actually just spent time with my cousin. So that was her father.
Oh, that would make sense. He's in that same like looks like generation as your dad. And he
Mhm.
has his hand on your shoulder. Is he by chance like your godfather or your favorite uncle?
So my cousin and I spent a lot of time together growing up, and actually one of my sisters who's on the call with me, the two of us spent a ton of time with our two cousins at his house.
Okay, and who's your family
Brenda.
member? Raise your
So
hand.
yeah, Brenda's
Oh,
my one
hi.
sister.
Okay. Okay, so then that is your uncle
Hmm.
also. Okay, so in any case, he is standing behind you like he's dad, so he just wants to let you know that he is a spirit guide of divine timing and protection for you. I think he might be like my favorite uncle because I could have a blast with this uncle. Is that true, you guys?
Oh yeah.
And he is who he says he is. It's no bullshit. He says it like it is. He's down to earth. He's real. Is that true about him?
Yeah.
Who was he in the military or was it one of the family members in the military? Because he keeps like doing a military thing, like hey. And so,
Yeah.
which branch of the service was he in? Was he a Marine or was he Army?
So he was in the Army. He was in the Vietnam War.
Okay, he's kind of doing these gestures to me that tell me Army or Marines. So that's good because that gives me good acknowledgement that he is here. So for you, Katie, he is a spirit guide of divine timing and protection. Kind of same thing goes along that I was speaking to them about a little earlier. You know, they can stop time for you, slow it down, speed it up, and they also protect you in that. So if you're like rushing to get somewhere, don't rush because probably you're late for a reason. And then that's okay. And it might be to protect you from something. And so divine timing and protection kind of works like that. And then when I talk to Brenda, your name is Brenda, right? Okay, so when I connect with you, he stands up above you over your head. And that tells me like he's connected to your health, your well-being, your balance. And so when somebody does that, it's like they help you help others. And that's what he does. He helps you to help others. And so if you're balanced, which is what his goal is, then he helps you to help others.
Okay.
Are you a teacher or something?
Me? No,
Yeah.
no.
I just
Katie
left
was a
teaching.
Okay, you left teaching, but you're a teacher?
Yep, I just finished my last year.
Okay, so I'm supposed to say congratulations on the career for the teacher. So you two are sisters, and that can get crossed a little bit there, but he is acknowledging that. And then there is a lady there, but she's a little younger. Did you lose a mom or an aunt young?
No, not that I can think of.
We just lost Aunt Lynn.
Oh, yeah. Well, but they were about the same age, weren't they?
60, 62.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
only 52, you guys. That's not old.
I know. That's why I'm thinking like young, like teenager. But yeah, no, that could be.
Well, she's presenting younger anyway, even younger than that, but I'm going along with that because there is a lady that is coming in for both of you. And when she comes in like a mom. She like loves you. She's like pouring love on both of you. and she makes me feel like she's your mom. So mom's sister is this?
Yep.
So
my
that will help me recognize that. And she is a spirit guide of validation to you, Brenda. So are you the one that like lifts everybody up? Are you very sensitive to people, to their energy?
Yes, I think our younger sister is actually more sensitive to it, but yeah.
And she's
And
on here
she's
too.
not
That's
on the
Morgan.
call?
Yeah, Morgan's here too.
Oh, hi, Morgan. Okay, so are you very sensitive to people
Yes.
and to their energy and their feelings and their emotions?
Yep.
Okay, so when I connect with your aunt, I'm supposed to connect with the one that is sensitive and very connected to other people's emotions to let you know that your soul job is like empathy. So you are an empath. And if you ever want to learn more about that, I'm trying to get a workshop together that's almost done that I can offer online, and I'll do as like a live Zoom as well. But if you ever struggle with that, I can explain it to you, but that is your soul job. So when you are, what you'll notice is a turn on switch and a turn off switch. So you wake up fine, and then a half an hour later, you're feeling people's emotions. And then that goes on up and down all day until later at night. And then at night, you feel all better. Is that how it works for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so that is your soul job, and your aunt helps you with that soul job and acknowledges you about that soul job. And so, where you'll find them is in your emotions, but where you'll find yourself when you're in their emotions, listen to your own brain. That has nothing to do with the emotions. And that's how you'll be sure that you're connecting with yourself and that the emotions aren't prompting the thoughts.
Can I ask a
Um,
question? So I
sure.
actually, when I was in Sedona, I happened to run into a medium, like by chance on a hike. Like they were doing all sorts of stuff. And my aunt actually had like just passed the one that you're connecting with. So like, can you just validate or ask her, like, was that her there? Because she kind of like came through for that medium, and just like the timing of everything. I don't know, like that, it just was incredible. And so like she was there, she like was there on that trip and connected with us and with me.
Can I ask for any of the three sisters or for your families? Is the month of December, January, or June anybody's birthday or anniversary?
I'm January.
And I'm February. That didn't come up, but
But
Okay.
June, like a lot of her siblings' birthdays are in June.
June.
yeah,
Okay.
mom's birthday.
My daughter's
Oh,
birthday.
okay. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so that just tells me that's a confirmation. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes I'll ask you random questions for no reason, and it's just to serve as a yes or no. So since that information is true, then that would tell me that she was the one that did make that connection, and you can trust that the connection was accurate.
Yeah.
And then Brenda, for you, she's actually right at your root chakra. So are you the eldest sister?
Yeah.
Are you the one that carries responsibility of being the older sister? Because your aunt is right at your root energy, which is your earth energy, and she shows me that you are very capable and that you help everybody all the time.
Try to. Yeah. Sounds right.
So you can't not help yourself just because you're helping everybody else, because the gift that we give away is the gift that nobody in our life really knows how to give back to us, and then we might get mad at them because they don't. But you are really that person and what people look for, and that's like in your friend group, and with your family and your friends, and your aunt helps you with that, and she's just so proud of you. Um, for keeping things connected.
That makes sense.
Like she like, like you're the people gatherer, or you just make sure things are connected, and that's so important. And she hopes you never get tired of doing it because it looks like it's on you.
Okay.
So she is a spirit guide that helps you with that effort that you do on Earth. And then Katie, when your aunt connects with you, she really, really thinks that you validate everybody else all the time, and that you can't forget to validate yourself. Like you're harder on yourself than anybody could ever be hard on you. Like if you were my kid, I could not ground you because you would be harder on yourself than I would be on you in the grounding. And like I would be like, I don't want to add on to her, to her pain because you would be beating yourself up. And so your aunt is like, gosh, cut yourself some slack, and she's applauding you and applauding your recent accomplishments and things like that. Brenda, do you have a son? I know you mentioned a daughter
I have 2 sons.
and one daughter.
Mhm.
Okay, because your family in heaven is acknowledging your kids and they think you're a great mom. And is one of your sons having a recent accomplishment? Like I'm supposed to congratulate somebody for like a huge thing, and it's one of the sons. It's one of your sons. Like I'm supposed to be like, yay! Like if it was a graduation or I got a new job or something like that, like they're just bubbly about the accomplishment.
My little one just graduated from preschool.
Oh, this is so huge then because they're making such a big deal. But that's awesome. So congratulations from great auntie. That would be their great aunt. Yeah. But she sees the kids and she's so excited for your guys' life. Now, do you all live in the same state or is somebody moving to a different state?
I'm in a different state.
Okay, because your aunt is, she just kind of made a joke about it. Like she could go where a couple of you are, but then one, she has to travel further to get to you. So if you're in a different state, it's just her acknowledgement of you guys being in a different state. But she's with you all and loves you guys very, very much. Okay. Do you have any questions for them right now? Can I ask the 3 sisters, did you guys lose somebody to breast cancer?
Our grandma, that's her mom, and my mom's mom.
Okay, there is a lady that's coming in, and what I was doing is I just asked if there was anybody else that would like to connect with the sisters, and this lady came in and loves you very much, but said that she had breast cancer. That's how you would be able to identify her. And she keeps showing me, now was your grandfather in the military?
Yes.
Yep.
Because she's with a man and he's there with her, right? Both are in heaven. Because she comes walking down the street, but then those guys that pass out the poppy memorial military things on the side of the road and you give them a donation and they give you that little thing with the flag and the little poppy thing on it. So then your grandma was walking down the street and she has that. And I'm like, oh, I forget what that vision is supposed to mean because I've had somebody do that before. And I'm like, I forgot what that vision is supposed to mean. And she goes, well, for me, it just means him. And then
Oh my
she
God,
pointed and it was her husband. So that's how she kind of made me recognize that he was there. And so she's proud of him, and he must have been a good man because I feel this integrity in him. And that's how he presents, like nobly, and I like that she shows me that because when she shows me, it's like in black and white, which means that he did the right things by her, like he courted her and like that was romantic. And so when she looks at him, it's like it's her one and only. Is kind of how she looks at him, like, so that's a beautiful love story somebody should write down. Okay, did anybody get a tattoo for one of your family members in heaven?
I got a tattoo for my grandma. It's actually a breast cancer ribbon with the flower that she
Okay.
had mentioned to my uncle before.
Okay, so all right. And when she first connected and she was telling me what she passed of, normally I'm an empath too, so I'll feel some of that physical sensation, but I didn't. I literally saw a vision of of the breast cancer ribbon. And that's how she communicated that. So if you have that, and then she shows me the little poppy flower, like, I don't know, it just really kind of all fits together, and she's acknowledging that. So that's so touching for her. And she says, thank you. Now, does one of you guys live by the ocean or by a beach or a lake, or what's going on there?
I mean, I live by a lake, but we've been talking a lot about wanting to move to a beach town. I have, you have.
Well, if you can work it out, everybody in heaven is up for that and really looking forward to that. All right. And then,
Does it involve a toast restaurant, perchance? I'm just gonna throw that out there.
does it involve a what? A toast restaurant?
Uh-huh.
Hey, the hours are good. That's what your aunt said.
That's
She's
not
like, hey, the
surprising to me.
hours are good. And she kind of smiles about it. I mean, I don't have a do it or don't do it. I just have your aunt making a funny comment about it. And so I'm going to just, leave it at that with her. But
Okay.
she acknowledges that. And then Ashika, hello, my love. I love you. I'm so happy to see you here today. And if you have anything to say to anybody today, please feel free to do so. Ashika, she does everything. So you can always call her for everything. But you know who's here? I want to know if this was Kevin's father, because I haven't thought of this in years, but it had to have been like the first or second gallery that we had together. And I keep seeing Eddie Murphy's cat, Orion, and then I see a flash of Kevin, and then I see the telescope, and I'm like, I think this is Kevin's dad. Is that Kevin's dad that happened at Holistic?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly how he's connecting. So he is present, and he keeps saying, like, look at you. Whose birthday was last month, this month, or next month? Did you guys have a birthday last month, this month, or next month?
What month is this?
This is May. So April, May, or June birthday, anniversary.
Well, his dad's birthday is June 30th.
Okay, that's perfect. I just need 1 month to match, but if anything else
He
is in the month.
transitioned April. His dad's
Okay.
transition date is April. His birthday is June. So I'm like, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take that as being his confirmation that he is present. And is one of your moms in heaven?
Both of our moms are in heaven.
Let me figure it. Probably they're both coming. Anyway, let me say that your father-in-law is so happy that you guys are where you're at, because his son's health is better. Is Kevin healthier?
Yes.
Like, he's so happy because, I mean, he is aligned, he's happy, he's joyful. You added years to his life by making this move or this transition. He breathes better, and I mean in all aspects. Like, I mean physically, spiritually, mentally, like his breath is full, and he takes the fullness of breath. And I mean breath, like, not like I'm breathing. I mean breath. Like,
Right.
Like breath. And like God, like breath. And so his dad is like so happy about that. And then I know why he was showing me that time that we were at Holistic, and he showed me Orion. And I know that what it's like, if I'm back in that same, I'm literally right there, like in time and space right now. And if I look at the vision on that day and this time and that time and space, I was looking out to the universe, right? So I was perceiving it from the space that I'm sitting, so I have to look up, I have to look out. Nothing's behind me except the chair I'm sitting in. Okay, now that's Kevin. Now today, that vision, I am the universe. Like, I can go like this and pick a star. I can turn around and like see any planet or universe or anything. That's Kevin now. So
Yeah.
like he says that, I think it's beautiful. So do you guys have a business? Are you running a business or do you have a business? Because it matches something in your solar plexus, and he's very happy with that. And then which one of your moms couldn't walk or had problems with mobility or
His
getting
mom,
around?
Aaron,
Okay,
Kevin's mom.
okay. All right, well, Kevin's mom then is coming in and she's obviously talking to his dad and they hold hands. So I'm assuming that they stayed married.
No, but
Well,
yeah, they still had that underlying, he transitioned, she went to the services. It wasn't like, oh, no connection. It was like that. I think their compassion stepped in after their divorce, if that makes sense.
well, I don't know. They look very loving toward each other and they're
Yeah.
presenting together. And that's, she's here and she's lovingly connecting with his dad. And when I connect with her, she is walking in. So I'm supposed to say, obviously, her leg, her mobility thing is much better. And again, they love the business that you guys are doing. I'm not sure what that is, but she is acknowledging it as well. And I do feel a tattoo. So who did you get a tattoo for? I didn't even know you have tattoos. Do you have tattoos?
I have tattoos, but I didn't get a tattoo for anyone.
No, it's okay. I just didn't know you had
Oh,
tattoos.
well, this
And
one,
and
I'm
so
with this
she
one. It's freeness.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's kind of like what the vision is compared to like universe. Like I'm free. I'm in the middle of all of this, and that's how his mom is acknowledging kind of what his dad said and saying that she thanks you for that too. So I think this. I don't know if this was your prompting or your doing to make the transition and to just go ahead and do it, but they are really happy that you did, and they are talking about your tattoo, and I think that's what you've achieved.
Got it.
Does that make sense? I think I'm understanding what she and he are trying to convey.
Yes. We live in California now. And
Okay.
we didn't leave until his mom transitioned. And it wasn't like an until, we didn't have the idea till then.
Hmm.
We've been here almost 4 years now, and his health has,
Is it 4 years?
listen, I don't even know what's,
Wow.
but yes, with him, his health, he was he grew up with having breathing problems with asthma. That's something that kind of attached to the energy access of his family line. Like a lot of them came through with a breathing situation.
Hmm.
He does not rely on anything. He relies on his own beingness. He has maybe a bout, but he doesn't even associate it with asthma anymore. It's like, he's
Yeah,
so disconnected from the energy of that. So it's
that's
really awesome.
that's awesome because that's how they both are, and they're like accrediting you, like they're thanking you, like he's so much better, so much healthier, mind, body, soul, all across the board. Um, and then I think this is your mom, but she kind of just slides in and sits next to you and kind of puts her head on your shoulder, calls you baby. So is that your mom or your grandmom? Who called you that? Who did that? Because this is so loving.
It's my granny called me baby girl. So it's very specific and was more of a different energy. Like my baby girl. My mom had the energy of,
Aw, like okay, okay. So my first feeling of her is right. Something is bothering my eye a lot when I connect to your mom. Did she have migraines, allergies, or something wrong with her eyes or
aneurysm.
brain? Oh
Aneurysm.
yeah. Oh wow, I can okay. So that's obviously she doesn't have that anymore, but she is there and she's present and she's just loving you and making a point to love you. And seriously, the love you put out, I don't know if, and that's what she's trying to replenish. It's like the love you put out is the love she tries to bring back to you. Um, and she says thank you too for her heart. So, does, well, it feels like thank you for forgiving me. does does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with our heart connection, or just tapping into what we know beyond us now. And I've been doing lots of work around this. So that's definitely in alignment with where I am.
Okay, because she's like, she loves you so much, and she thanks you for, okay, did you ever hear that Ho'oponopono?
Did
That
I do what?
prayer, that
Yes,
prayer, Ho'oponopono, I love you, thank you,
yeah.
please forgive me, and
I did that for her because I wanted her to
that's it. That's why she's showing that to me, because she keeps telling me, like, she's literally sitting there and she's like, thank you. And she's like, thank you. And then she's like, I'm sorry. And then she's like, thank you for forgiving me. And then she keeps repeating it. And then she shows me the prayer, actually, the Ho'oponopono. And so then she received that. So thank you. And that just literally unioned your spirit to her spirit. So, and that's all through the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and the sacral chakra, which means both your body, your mind, and your soul, like it, they agree.
Yeah.
You need to dance more, child. And I think that's your grandma coming in. So hold on one second, because that might be her. So was your, yeah, you said your grandma was more spitfirey like than
Yeah.
your mom. And did your grandma have a beautiful name? And I'm supposed to feel the name like your mom, or is it something about your name? Like, I'm really focused on names when your grandma comes in with that energy. So what was your grandma's name, or how did you get your name? She's all about the name.
Okay. My granny's name is Fanny Bell.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. And my parents named me, so she wanted me to be named something else, but they didn't name me.
Okay, so well, that she's here. When she's around you, do you smell her?
Yes.
Because she says that one of the ways that she connects with you is that you smell her.
Yes, that's not my strongest way to connect with her, but it is a way that I connect with her. Yes.
So when you smell her, it's about your heart and
Mm.
your emotion. So she's showing me like the different signs. So if my mom visits me from heaven and I feel a pain in my lung, oh, I know some shit's ready to go down on earth,
Okay.
because I feel her physically in my body. I physically feel her connection. So when my grandma comes, I smell my grandma, but that scent of her comes because when I was a little girl and I would hug her, I would go right here on her neck, and she smelled like Pond's face cream oil from cooking and bleach, and it was the best smell ever. So that's a strange thing to smell, and so and that's always emotional. And
Mhm.
so you may connect with your grandma in different ways, but each way you connect with her is for a different purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to tell you that because your spirit wants you to know that, for the way you interpret your intuition when you're connecting with them. If their response is to you physical, pay attention to the physical.
Okay.
If their response to you is something that you can smell, it's a scent around you, it's something happening around you. Watch the people around you, watch their energies, because it's how it affects you, how that all comes to you. And so there's different ways that they'll connect with you. My mom will flash the kitchen light. That means she's hanging out. If I get like where part of my body feels paralyzed because she kind of went paralyzed, then I know that, oh, I got something to think about. I mean, I have to think, and I know that that's what her connection there means. So when your families and your friends connect with you from heaven, they may have different manners of connecting with you, but whatever way you receive their connection, there's a reason they're connecting that way. Right? And then if you can determine why, then you'll know exactly when they arrive when you're in the middle of stuff, because you'll be like, oh yeah, that's how they connect with me when shit's about to go down. you know?
Yeah.
But your mom is really, really proud of you. also. And I'm supposed to ask about your son. Did he graduate, get a new job, do something wonderful? Because everybody is throwing confetti over him. Like confetti.
Our oldest son,
Yeah.
he just, yes, there is something to congratulate. He just participated in his first modeling walkway. What is it? Runway thing? I don't know what
Runway show.
she's sure. And their team won. He
Okay,
was
wow.
the designer that designed his the line asked him to model, and that team won, and it was like a huge thing. And I was looking at the pictures like kind of right before this. Well, not right.
Well,
Earlier today, I would say.
yeah, yeah. Well, they're congratulating and throwing confetti, like cheering him on and congratulating him. So they just want him to know that they are watching out, and all three of them are talking about it, and they'll be here the whole time. But do you have any questions for them?
I'm wondering, is my aunt Catherine able to come forth and
Was she
share?
having a hard time with her weight?
Um, I would say
Or
part
as a result of like her being sick, did she get very swollen?
yes,
You know how sometimes like when like my mom got real puffy when she was
yes,
sick, and that's kind of like she's making me feel like that's how she felt. Would that make sense for her?
yes,
And did you not call her Catherine?
correct.
Okay, because she's like, Catherine, why are you calling me Catherine? So what do you typically call her? Aunt Cat or
Auntie.
okay, because Auntie, okay, because she's like, why are you calling me Catherine? So she says she don't call me that. So in any case, that's she like likes that connection with you, and she like grabs your face and smooches you.
Yeah.
Like she grabs your cheeks and she like mwah, and just smooches you. So I that had to be the relationship and the connection. And anyway, that's the way she is. She would hug me if she walked in the room because it just feels like she's very loving like that. But there is this connection with you, and she is definitely a spirit guide that if you ever do like an Akashic Records or a past life reading, like you gotta invite her, because she has been in several of your lifetimes. You know, I know that you describe her as as your aunt, but were you guys like sisters?
We were like all of it. She was like, you go to her for the wisdom. You can talk to her like your mother. You can hang out with her like your sister. All of
It's
it.
like that. Like you know, when she first connects, it's very like I'm your mom, and then as I'm sitting here, it's like I could hang out with you. It's like this. Yeah, she adapts to whatever you need. Whatever you need, whatever role you need her to be, the love lets her kind of just be whatever people need her to be.
Yeah.
And she is taking great deep breaths. Like the air in heaven is awesome because she can breathe. What happened to her?
That, that's when I called the hospital. That was the last thing she said to me. I can't breathe.
Oh, she couldn't breathe, and then she took that last breath, which was actually her first breath in heaven, and she was like, okay. So she loves you and is present with you all the time. Actually, she walks in your shoes. She's like a spirit guide of earth for you, like of every happening here.
Yeah. I do have a question for her, and the question
Sure.
is, and I know it, I just want to hear it, to be quite honest.
Hmm.
She did she know when I was washing her face in the morning? Did she know? Because we had a moment of connection. I just wanted, did she know
That
that it
she
was
was
her?
going.
Yeah, did she know? Because it
Yes,
was, if you
because
blinked, you would have missed it, but I saw it.
she's she references it with a vision that I'm having, that if you've ever connected with people that are getting close to their transition time, sometimes they look a little bit past you and they're seeing your spirit. And the moment that you had, it was like eyes to eyes, but you were glowing. So you were glowing all like heart chakra, around the crown chakra, and all the way down. And so it was, she knew, but she knew because even though she saw you, it had flipped. Like first, you know, your human self is biggest. It's what we see. But when people start to transition, they release humanity. So now they see you in the fullness of your own spirit. And I think she is showing me, well, she is showing me that when she looked at you, you were glowing. And then she knew, because she knew she was seeing you, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, yes, she did. And she does make that connection and acknowledgement. Is anybody here looking for a cat and a dog? No? Okay. They are with somebody, so hold on. Jose, do you, or, and I don't know the lady with you, what's your name?
Tina.
Tina, do either of you have a sister in heaven?
No.
Or a female that would be a peer, like a friend or a sister-in-law, a cousin? Because there's a lady that has a dog and a cat with her, and she wants me to talk to you guys. When I connect with her, I don't feel like this was, it doesn't feel tragic like a car accident. It does feel like she was sick before she passed.
Maybe my aunt.
And
She-
what happened to her? Because I can really pick anything in my body and I would have a complaint about it. Which means that if this is your aunt, something happened to all of her body.
I honestly don't know what happened to her. It wasn't quite understood. All I know is I guess there was an accident in her home. I think she fell or something. And then that was it. That's all I know. And then she was cremated. So nobody got a chance to say goodbye, or there was no funeral, no nothing.
Okay, so she fell and that's kind of how she passed. Because
That was told to me, yes.
I think I'm gonna agree with that, because you know, when I ask her what happened, it's like, well, pick anything you want, whatever you want to pick, because there's damage, or, you know, so that just helps me to know that she is present. She is a little bit quieter in her personality. Is that true? She's like a little quieter, not real talkative. I mean, she'll talk to you, but not so much.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then and this is your aunt?
Yeah, that would be the only person I know.
And she's connected to your mom's side of the family?
Yes,
And is your mom here or there? I think she's there. Is she there?
yes,
That's what this is about. Okay, so hold on, because now this aunt, now was this aunt like your godmother or something?
yes.
Oh my gosh, because she came in and she takes this like a little bit of authority over you, you know, so that's okay, because that just, I
Yes.
thought, you know. All right, so I should have recognized, that's my fault, because I've been trying to work it out with them. It's a long story and I won't waste your time, but that was my fault. I should have recognized that was your aunt and not like a friend or a peer. But she does take this role with you, and then she tells me she's your godmother, so that's perfect. I do feel
Yes.
comfortable with her. But then she really brings me like, she starts talking to me about your mother's sister. And then I'm like, okay, so you're her mother's sister. So you confirm that.
Yes.
But then I have to ask you, because she turns around and she reaches. And when she reaches, it looks like she reaches for your mom, which is kind of what makes me ask you if your mom is over there. I don't know what religion or faith they are, but was your mom's faith very important to her? Or was that your aunt? Or is that you?
They were Catholic.
Okay, because they're acknowledging the way I feel about my faith, and I really love the Catholicism. I like Catholicism. Not a fan of the church, but I love Catholicism and base my experiences off of that education and that knowledge and that connection. And that's how they make me feel.
Okay.
And then your mom, do you have her ring?
Yes, I
Because she's
do.
talking to me about her ring and she's so happy you have it. Did somebody else try to get it?
No,
Okay, so do you have
no,
all
I
of your
haven't.
mom's stuff? Are you like her only daughter?
No,
Okay,
I'm her oldest daughter.
okay, so you have the ring.
I have
And
the
then
ring.
is there another ring though that's significant that somebody else got or wanted that doesn't have to be the wedding ring, but like a mother ring, an
I
anniversary
have the
ring, or
mother's ring.
okay, you do. Okay.
Yes.
So then that gives me a good confirmation that that is your mom. And your mom says you should see her walking around. Like you should see how much she gets, or they go on walks in the Garden of Eden. Literally, they go on paths and they go around the lake, and they are the two of them, your aunt and your mom. But they go together, so they are little social butterflies, and they have their outdoors. And she just says, "You can." She's like standing up in my office and then sitting down and then standing up and then sitting down, and it's like she's proving that she can walk in heaven. So could she not walk, or what happened? Because this is fantastic and she's so happy about it.
She had difficulty walking.
Yeah, she's doing
She
great.
she had to walk with a cane. She had back surgery, and they had to put two rods in her back, and they had to take a bone out of her hip and also place it in her back. So she had a very difficult time walking.
Okay, she is just walking, 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 up and down, sitting, standing quickly, no problems. And so she wants you to know she's doing really great. And uh do you have 3 children?
I have two.
Did you ever lose a child due to miscarriage, abortion, or death? She's showing
Yes,
me
I
3.
did.
Okay,
Yes.
so then that's just she. So she must have number 3 with her, because that's what she's talking about. But she does acknowledge 3 for you, and she says she loves you, and she won't be seeing you anytime soon. You'll be here a while, but she just wants you to know how proud she is of you and how much she loves you. And if you go for any walks, she will go with you on the walks. And then she was wanting me to really smell like a garden. Do you do gardening, or do you plant flowers or vegetables, or is there any reason she would be showing me that? Or are you trying to eat
Mhm.
green? Like, are you trying to eat very good and organic and
Yes.
healthy? Because
Yes, I am.
I'm literally looking at like fresh garden food, and I can
Mhm.
smell it, and she acknowledges it. So if it's not like you're literally planting a garden, then she's referencing your nutrition, your
Yes, I'm
diet, or
trying
you're
to,
changing it.
yeah.
So
I'm trying
she's
to
really
change my
happy
diet.
about
Yes.
that, and acknowledges that. So she'll also help you do that. And Jose, are you named after your father or your grandfather, and the first name or the middle name, or is it all 3 of you?
Well, no, my dad, all 3 names. Jose Ariel Resto was my dad also.
Okay, okay, because I'm supposed. Well, okay, so this, and your dad is there, correct?
I wouldn't know, but I suspect.
Okay, so you haven't seen your dad, or you lost touch with your dad.
Mhm.
Okay, so there is a man that comes in that is either a dad or a grandfather, but he says all 3 of you have the same name. So I think he's talking. Now, was your grandfather named the exact same?
Not the exact, but he shared the first name, yes.
Okay, so I have to just make sure if I am talking to your dad or to your grandpa. So which one of them owned land, or worked on the land, or owned land?
That was my grandfather.
Okay, that's the gentleman that's here. He's like a principal spirit guide and guardian angel to you. And do you own your own business?
Yes, I do. It's a year
So
old now.
it's a year. How old is it? A
A
year?
year old.
Oh, he's
I just
so
realized it was a year old when I got the new lease last week.
okay. So he's so excited about your business. Like he's like, congratulations on owning your business, or he's proud of you for owning your business. You should be noticing that it's growing, right? Because I
It
do
is.
see it has momentum and it is growing. And he says it is. So I'm going to believe that. So hopefully you see that as well. And it is going to continue. So
Thank
you
you.
are going to keep doing it. And I have a vision of you in 5 years and it's still happening. And you feel pretty comfortable doing that. So whatever that is, he is proud of you. And we should go fishing or we should go to the lake. So do you live by a lake or do you fish or do you like to be by the lake?
I like to be by water, and we were just talking this week about taking a road trip to the beach.
Okay, so
So
yeah, he has you by water and that is excellent. Do you have any questions for him?
no, does
Your
he have my
grandpa makes me feel like he's a man of little words, but if you ask him stuff, he'll tell you.
yeah, does he have
Kind of
my
like that.
does he have my grandmother nearby?
Okay. And what's grandma's name?
Josefa.
Okay. Did your grandma pass away in her sleep?
Yes, because we had to give her morphine for her pain. So
Yeah, I
she
just
did take a nap,
feel
and she passed in her sleep.
yeah, when you ask about your grandmother, your grandfather, he like shows me her transition and she's just sleeping peacefully and she has like a little smile on her face and then she just goes to heaven and it was very peaceful. And she's making a point to tell me that. So if her pain was so bad that you guys gave her the morphine, she's so thankful for that because it really allowed her to leave Earth in a very loving way. Like she just feels so better about that. So she says thank you so much for that. Is one of them cremated?
My grandma,
Oh,
mom is,
the lady I was, and I was talking to your mom, right?
yes, my mom
Joanne,
is.
right?
And then Linda's cremated too.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
my,
and so what about your parents, Jose? They're not. They're
That again,
buried.
no, my mom's
Or your
alive, but
grandparents.
my grandparents, no, they were buried.
Okay, because when they start to talk to me about cremation or burial, it means that who's ever in the room right now, there's a difference. Somebody's cremated, somebody's buried, and so they're just making that distinction. So then that would be your family. Your mom is happy that she was cremated, Joanne. So did you guys know that those were her wishes?
I knew my mom wanted to be cremated, yes.
Because she's very like grateful that happened and like her wishes were honored, so she wants to say thank you for that. Also, she puts you on a pedestal and says thank you for everything you did. So are you like everybody's Florence Nightingale? Like, are you that person? Because they just love you for how you nurture. And like, yeah, are you everybody's Florence Nightingale?
Not that I know of.
Did you take care of them?
I just honored everybody's wishes. So I did what everybody wanted me to do. And it wasn't easy, but I did everything that I thought I was supposed to do. So maybe that's what she's referencing.
Well, they love you and they say thank you for that, and they love you guys so much. Jose, do you have any questions for your grandpa? He thinks you're a funny guy. So he says the people that know you, they laugh a lot with you. Are you a funny guy?
I sometimes I have my moments, yes.
Okay, well, they think you're funny and
And
they love
sarcastic.
your humor. Yeah, I'll go with that because they're laughing and then they just want you to know that you do make people laugh and you're very quick-witted. Okay,
I have a question.
sure.
Is my aunt with my uncle?
I have a positive response as yes. However, I'm not talking to your uncle, just your mom and your aunt. But yes,
Okay.
they are together. So they are, yes, yes. Okay, Miss Tammy, hello. Are you looking for your grandmother and your mom is still here on Earth?
Yeah, my mom's still here.
Okay. And is it her mom you're looking for? Or is it actually your dad's mom? Because I think your dad's mom is here.
They're both passed.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about all of them.
Can I ask which one is the Catholic one? Or which one you have a rosary that belonged to her? Or
I
which
have.
grandma prayed a lot? Because the grandma that I'm talking to
Oh
who
boy.
acknowledges your mom. Because
Okay. Yeah.
it's either, when I connect with them, it's like your dad or your grandpa, your mom or your grandmom. It's that same kind of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so but this one, when I ask her, how do I know which grandma she is? She's kind of standing on your dad's side of the family,
Mm.
and then she is really referencing prayer and rosary and faith and things like that. So that would be your more religious or faithful grandma.
I think it's my mom's mom. She used to have a picture she prayed to all the time, and I have her husband, my grandfather's rosary.
Oh, then that would be her. Okay. So then hold on one second. And um oh, did she want to be a nun
No, I don't think so.
when she was young?
No, I don't
Or
think
was
so.
your grandfather work in the church?
No. Mm-mm. No, not that I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Well, he keeps showing me church. Did your grandfather, is he the one that had the chest, heart, or lung condition?
Yes.
And then your grandma, my stomach is just bothering me just a little bit, but I don't feel like I have anything that's super consequential. How did your grandma pass?
Um, they they listed it as dementia, but I think it was a bunch of different things. I personally don't think it was straight dementia.
So she had issues happening, but nobody gave her a diagnosis because they blamed everything on dementia.
Yeah, I mean, she did have some loss of memory type thing. And she forgot a lot, but my dad's suffering right now, and I don't see a lot of similarities in that, but that's what is on her death certificate.
Okay. And did she just pass in her sleep though?
Um, I don't know. I mean, she was in and out. I do know I saw her a few days before she passed, and then we did get the call that she had passed. But she was at the point where she was obviously sleeping a lot and on her last days.
Okay. And you have your grandfather's rosary, you said?
Yes.
Is February, December, or July anybody's birthday or anniversary that they would be able to confirm that they're here with that? Like, who's that connected to?
My grandpa's December,
Mhm.
and my mom, their daughter, is July.
Okay. So, and I did see your mom still here on Earth, so that's the first thing your grandma showed me. So, that would be her way of connecting with your mom and telling her she loves her. And your grandmother is a principal spirit guide and guardian angel to you. And
Yeah.
you are a thinker. Do you think? Or what do you do for work? Or what do you do for your job? Your grandma thinks that your brain never stops, ever, ever, ever stops. And that I could go outside and say, oh, that's a pretty tree. And then you could go outside and say, that's a pretty tree. I wonder why they planted it there. I wonder if they know that, oh, do you see that green stuff? And look at every single leaf. And are you very in depth and very analytical and very thinker oriented? Because your grandma is just like so impressed with you. Because if you can't figure it out, like it cannot be figured out, is like what she says. If you can't figure it out, if you can't flip it over on the side, if there is many ways to look at something, you can see all of those ways. you can see them all. And so your grandma is just like, look at her brain. So
I
she's
love
just,
that.
she thinks you're smart, you're brilliant, and she loves you. And do you live in Florida, or are you going to Florida, or are you supposed to be by the ocean soon? Are you going soon?
No, not by the ocean, no, but we are considering moving by our lake house, but that's just a lake.
That's okay. I wonder if that's what she's talking about. Let me ask. No, this is the ocean. You're not. So if somebody invites you guys and you are married, correct?
hmm
Do you have 2 children or 4 children? Because she's telling me there's 4 people in the family, but I think she's referencing kids. Your kids?
I have two kids, yes.
Okay, so it's you, your husband, and your 2 kids.
hmm
That's my 4. Okay. And do you have 2 animals?
Yes.
Okay, so they're around your house. Like she's around your house, and your grandpa's around your house, and your grandma is your principal spirit guide and guardian angel, and your grandpa is your spirit guide of intuition because he has a brain like you.
That's what you told me before.
Oh, really? Did we talk to him before? Oh, so he is that guy. Okay, so that's perfect. So you know all about that. Well, since we've connected before, what do you want to ask them, or who do you want to reach out to or connect to? You do. Now, did you say you do not have a cat in heaven?
I do not have a cat in heaven.
Do you have a dog in heaven?
I do.
Was the dog smaller?
Yes.
Because was that dog act like a cat? Like, would it go up on top of the couch
Yeah.
and like, sit by your shoulder if you're on the couch or something like that? What kind of dog is this? Because it's a dog that's acting like a cat.
It was a Yorkie poo.
I'm taking that to be the same because I have a similar, like a little Lulu. She's a Papillon, but she's tiny. So I'm going to have to take that as being your animal. What's her name?
It's a he. It was
Is
Jazzy.
he Jasmine?
Jazzy.
Jazzy? Okay,
I
so
know the
hold
boy
on.
Jazzy. Long story.
That's okay. So hold on one second. I think that he is connecting. Your grandma only loves your dog. So did they not have dogs?
My grandpa had a dog he was really close to before he passed, but then they never got another animal.
Right, just the one that your grandpa wanted, and she didn't want any more animals.
Right.
So she said, because it's really cute, because she's showing me the dog, and she's like, so she's with your pet. And then she goes, but that's the only one I like. So it's like she's making the exception for you. And obviously your grandpa does have his dog, but I'm not talking to the dog because he gives me a thumbs up about that. But it does feel like you might be invited on a vacation, like to a tropical place.
Okay.
If you're invited, you guys should go. And it would come up before November of 2022. So if you get invited like by friends or family or, hey, we should do this, I'm kind of getting the impression from your grandparents that you should.
Okay. Hey, I'm all for
Are
that.
you the one that keeps the momentums in the family? Are you the one that keeps like the, like I have a bowl that was my grandma's and like my sisters don't want that stuff, but I have that or something like that. Do you have all the keepsakes? That's the right word.
I do have quite a few, yes.
Because your grandparents make me feel like you're the keepsake holder. You're the
Probably.
holder of the keepsakes.
Yeah, probably.
And so it's nice, but they say thank you about that. Who are you looking for? I know I asked you and then they kept talking, so I'm gonna let you speak.
That's okay. No. The dog was actually one of them, honestly. I feel like he's here a lot.
He is there a lot. Because the whole time that we've been talking, I've been waiting, but I thought it was a cat. But it's a cat that acts like a dog or would sit on the couch or has that tiny, yeah. And you have another animal right now, though?
I have 2, yes.
2 dogs right now?
Yep.
Is one of them fat?
She's a little chunkier.
Okay, because one of them is, because the dog I'm talking to in heaven says that one of them is fat.
That's the one I feel reminds me more of him.
And that's the one he's talking about
That's
too.
funny.
So that's very interesting. Did for your puppy in heaven, did something tear inside of him? Did he tear something?
No, they just couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was getting up there, but not overly old.
Mhm.
And we did a lot for him, and he just deteriorated.
Okay, because he makes me feel like this. It almost feels like a little stretching in the chest area, like it stretches. So I didn't know if that was like a pull in the muscle or if he pulled a muscle or something right there, but I can feel that a little bit. Um, yeah. He's not coming back yet. He might take like 3 or 4 years to come back. So it'll be a little bit of time. Did you just get your new dogs? Did you just get them recently?
Almost 3 years ago.
Okay, so it'll be a little while before
I have a
he
question
comes
for my
back.
grandma if she's still
Sure,
around.
she is.
I had a ring.
Oh, happy birthday. Whose birthday is last month, this month, or next month? And happy birthday, and kisses. And she's giving me like a bouquets of flowers. Is it your birthday?
It was Monday.
Oh, happy birthday from your grandma. She's like, she was just giving me a lot of flowers as soon. I didn't mean to cut off your
No,
question.
it's okay. And
So
today's my
what she
sister.
did.
So
Wonderful. Happy birthday.
so I had a ring of hers and I wore it all the time, and I left it by my wedding ring and it just disappeared. I keep saying, why didn't you want me to have it?
Maybe it doesn't feel that way. It also doesn't feel lost. It feels misplaced, but it doesn't feel gone. Do you know for a fact it's lost, or it's just lost to you? Like,
I haven't been able to find it for like almost 2 years.
I don't know where it's gonna turn up. I'm trying to ask where it's gonna turn up, but you know, when you talk about losing the ring, it still feels like it's with me still. So it's in your home, or it's wherever you were. If it was, you know, at home, that's where it is. So I don't know where it's going to show up, but I know it's going to show up because she just tells me it's not lost. It's just misplaced.
Well, it's good. It's good. And have they and my husband's parents, I'm assuming yes.
Have they all met? They
Have
have, but
have they met their great granddaughter who was just born less than a year ago? I feel like
is she a namesake to somebody in the middle name or in the first name? Is she a namesake? Because they're all smiling, but they're telling me, yeah, she's first name or middle name connected to somebody, and they're all happy about that.
Middle name.
Great, then that would tell me that yes, they are aware of her. Did either side play like gin, poker, rummy? Like they got a bunch of stuff like that with them. So is that true?
My other grandparents, me and my sister, when we were older, went to go play pinochle with them constantly at their house.
Okay. I'm supposed to acknowledge that those grandparents are also around you guys. And are there 3 sisters?
Mm-hmm.
Because you said 2. You're talking about one of your sisters, but is there 3 sisters altogether?
I have 2 kids. I'm one of 3 sisters. Yes.
So you're one of 3 sisters. Okay, then that's perfect. That confirms for me that I am understanding them correctly. Okay. Barbie, do you have a baby in heaven?
Yes.
Did you know if that was a boy or a girl?
Oh yeah, he died as an adult.
Okay. Can I ask if there was chest or heart or lung trauma or pain connected to his passing? Did he have like a cardiac arrest?
Um, Not exactly sure, but there was trauma to his chest.
Okay, I feel that. And I have to ask you this because of the way that he presented himself. Is he your baby? And I don't mean like is he your baby because he's in heaven right now, but is he the baby? Like is he the, you know, he
He
feels
was,
like he's the most important thing, even if you have other children. He feels like he is just the most important thing in the world to you.
I always called him my number one. Yeah.
Okay, so that would be him then connecting with me. I do feel that trauma experience in my chest. And I want to ask about the month of October, November, and December. And I also want to ask whose birthday was last month, this month, or next month. I also want to ask who got a tattoo in his honor. It is in his honor. And I also want to ask who made a banner for him.
His birthday was in October, mine is in November. His brother's birthday was just this month, a couple weeks ago. The other question, who made a banner for him, was his work. Made a banner for him at his celebration of life. And yes, a very good friend of his got a tattoo in his honor that she showed us at his celebration of life.
He's just, could you say hi to her for him? Like, he just thinks that everybody made such a to-do. Like, he just is so grateful. He also puts his head down and he says he's sorry. Like, he's apologizing. Would that make sense to you? I think it's because he's sorry he's not here. Like,
Yeah.
because of what that feels like to you and to everyone. And does his brother have really big feet?
Yeah.
Like he outgrew his brother's shoes, or was he using his shoes and now they don't fit anymore? He's just like, when you mentioned your son, then he said something about Bigfoot. And then he's like, he's got huge feet. So how many sons do you have at home currently? Two?
I don't have any sons at home. I only have
Okay.
I had two sons, and
Okay.
the youngest one now lives with his fiance, but he, being the youngest son, he was about 8 inches taller than his older brother, and his feet are at least a size and a half
Like,
bigger, but he did try to wear some of his brother's shoes after he passed.
okay, yeah, that's because he's like showing me the shoes, and I'm like, he grew out of them, or they're too small for him, and he's got such big feet, and so he's like, he's just hangs around his brother. Is now I know pizza's a common thing, but does your other son at home, or with his fiance, is pizza a thing for him? Because, or was it for your son in heaven because he like makes him eat it? He like he's in control of the pizza.
Yeah, my youngest son eats a lot of pizza. Yes.
Okay, so I think a lot of that is connected to his brother too, because he's like, I'm gonna go eat pizza with my brother. I can make him eat pizza. People are making people eat stuff, folks. So he is just so he's so happy about his brother's life. So his brother must be doing good. And I want to ask about his job, because your son in heaven is really congratulating your son on earth for his career or his job.
He's doing very well. He's a biomedical engineer.
Whoa, yeah, I would say. No wonder. Like, he's very proud of him. He thinks he's doing awesome. He's like, I'm so proud of his career, and he's showing me that. So you can just tell him his brother is just super proud, and he's so smart, and he's doing great in his life. And yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, and they don't have children yet, right?
No.
They're gonna have two children, and then that's probably all, unless there's a mistake. But if there's a mistake later, if the distance between the kids are too far apart, that they end up having another one. So it's like two pockets of two.
Ooh.
So like, let's say they have two kids. They only want to have two kids. And then that's it. They're done. They're not having anymore. And then surprise, 7 years later, here comes another baby. And they're like, wow, there's such a big age difference. We should have another baby so that this baby has somebody to grow up with, kind of thing. Because when I see them connected, I see either 2 children or 4 children, either or. So they're not going to have 3. So if they have 2, they're going to have 4
Okay.
and not just 3. Unless they're going to have twins, but I don't see twins. I just see 2 babies, one right after the other.
Okay.
So, okay. And your son is cremated, is that correct?
Correct.
And is he in a lot of places? Because he says he is in a lot of places and he likes all the places that he's at. So it doesn't feel like his ashes are all collected in one spot. He does feel like he's kind of around. Is that true?
Every time we travel, we take little tubes of his ashes and we spread them wherever we go. And then wherever it is, we bring something back in that tube.
So I'm telling you, he is like, when he describes this to me, he's like, I'm cremated. And I'm like, okay, I figured. And then he goes, but I am everywhere. Like I'm everywhere. And so then he feels like, when he responds to that, literally he's with you guys and enjoying everything that you're doing when you go to places and is really trying to acknowledge his presence. And then I'm like in the mountains and I'm looking at a big red oak tree. But okay, it's those, I don't know what kind of trees they are, but they're really big. They grow in California because when I was little, I went up on a mountain to see a big red oak. I think it's called that, but I don't know. But your son in heaven is showing it to me, and I'm standing under it with him, and he's like, is that massive or what? And I'm like, holy crap, yeah, it's huge.
He saw
but
those when he was a child. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he is still in wonderment of God's creation because,
Redwoods.
okay. And they grow really big because I saw one, I think, when I was little, and my mom made a big deal out about it.
You
And
could
then
drive a
he's
car through
showing
it,
it to me. Okay, because then he's showing it to me, and it's and like he brings me back to that moment, and I know it's red something. So he's still, I think, okay, I know exactly what you're trying to say. So he is in awe of heaven. And he's in awe of heaven, like when you're a little kid, like, wow, like everything in heaven for him feels like, wow, that's amazing. Like, so I find so much joyfulness in his expression. And I find that innocence of pure, magical, how when we're little, things are magical. And he makes me feel like his experience in heaven isn't that he's a child, but that it's magical. And it's awe. It's awe. It's like he's full of awe with that. And he also likes to hang out with some grandpa that likes to fish. Or maybe it's an uncle.
Oh, my husband's father. Yeah, that would be his grandfather, and they used to go fishing together.
Yeah, well, they're fishing, so he fishes and shows me that. So that's also part of his heaven. He has a lovely heaven, so very nice.
Good.
Chelsea, are you looking for a brother or a boyfriend in heaven?
No.
There's a man not too old behind you, so I could say it could be like a father-in-law, or it could be an uncle. And when I connect with him, I can't breathe, but I feel like my breath got cut out short, so that's probably connected to like a heart attack. But it would have been a surprising heart attack.
So I'm not engaged to be married, but my son's dad, his uncle, suddenly passed due to that. And I did ask for his father to show up because his father transitioned. But
Okay,
his
so
uncle,
His
was
uncle
mostly
passed of
sick.
like a heart attack, but like, surprise, I'm here today and now I'm not here. And it was like kind of shocking to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he is here. Do you guys have a February, July, or January birthday or anniversary in your family?
Um, no,
Anybody that you
no,
care about or that your husband cares about?
no.
No February, August, or January?
Um, no, no particular dates. Wait. Oh, wait. No, no, no July, no January, no. Mm-mm.
No February?
No.
Okay, hold on one second because then I don't know if he is going to bring the dad. That would be your father-in-law per se.
It's my son's grandfather. We're not together. So
Okay, so your son's father, what's his name?
Miles.
And Miles is still here on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Miles's uncle is the one who passed of a heart attack by surprise.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to talk to Miles's grandfather
His
or
dad.
Miles's father.
Mm-hmm. His
Okay.
father.
And that's not the one that passed of a heart condition. Correct? Because the man, if this is his father coming in, I can't breathe. Was his dad on a breathing machine or on a ventilator or on oxygen?
I think
Because
so.
I can't really
I think
catch my
so.
breath. This all feels really compromised. And was he, do you know if he had had a heart surgery
Mm.
at any point?
No, but he had surgeries. Like I think his leg was amputated. He had a lot of health problems. I'm not sure about like actual surgery on his heart.
Okay, so I'm really dizzy when I connect with him. Can I ask then what did he pass of?
Um, I want to say it was a mixture of diabetes and um, you know what? That's funny. He just got here. I could ask him, but I'm not really sure because I never met him.
Okay.
He passed in 2015.
Mhm.
Um, it was a mixture of like high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart troubles.
I feel really dizzy. I feel like I can't breathe. There's kind of a lot of things happening here. Um, can I ask if he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to his dad when he passed?
Mm-mm, he didn't.
Because when I connect with the uncle, I have him so strongly and he's really communicating and I can connect with him very easily. Then I ask about his dad because I was trying to figure out who do you really want to talk to. And then I asked him and the uncle feels like he opened the door and then his dad came in. So I get initial good connection and then no connection. And then you don't know what I'm talking about. And it feels like I'm not getting accurate information. And then what that means sometimes is if there was no goodbye, like there was a cut of communication or his dad died before he got to say goodbye to him. But his
Mm-hmm.
dad, and you're sure there's nothing in February, August, or January?
February, August, or January.
His dad is holding on to those dates or holding on to those. So you can ask him after and maybe that will become clear. But his dad wants him to know how proud he is of him and wants him to be a good father. And tells him to be a better father than his dad. So was his dad a good dad?
I from the stories I've heard, I would say yeah.
So he really encourages his son to be a good father. But he does tell me to tell him that he's very proud of him. But I don't know if his dad said that a lot.
I don't think so.
Because when he tells him to be a good father, he's telling him, like the reference that he gives me is be a good father better than I was. Tell them how proud you are. Tell them how good they are. Tell them, like, validate them and encourage them. And he kind of makes me feel like that's the advice that he gives to his son, because maybe he didn't do that as much as he should have for your son's dad.
That could be.
And then
That
do you
could
have
be the case.
an auntie or an aunt in heaven who is the best cook in the world, and you might have a blanket that belongs to her, or something handmade that was belonged to her, or somebody made her something handmade like a blanket or something like that?
Not an aunt.
Who is
I
she
do
to
have
you?
I have a grandmother.
And you have a blanket of hers, or that she made you
Mhm.
a blanket, or somebody made it for
I
her,
have a blanket of hers.
and she's the best cook in the whole world?
The cooking part I'm not really resonating with. I can't really remember,
If she
but I
cooked
would
good?
assume that she was a good cook.
Well, she's making me smell it, and she said she is your principal spirit guide and guardian angel. Have you and I spoken before?
Mm-hmm.
Did I talk to her? Because she's waving at me. Did I talk to this grandma before and tell
I
you she
am
was your
pretty
principal
sure.
spirit guide
I'm
and
pretty
guardian
sure,
angel?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's here. Do you have questions for her, or what can I help you with today? Because I think she's waiting for you literally to ask questions, because you are the one that always has the plan. Are you always the one that has the plan?
I'm always planning, but I don't always execute. But I do have some questions. I was going to ask if if I'm like making the right decisions, and should I make should I follow my should I follow my heart with decision that I have to make. And I just really wanted to see who would come up as far
You
as
know,
like my
it's more
ancestors.
your spirit, because when you ask that question, and the reason I'm asking you is because I am getting, the people that we are connecting with. But I feel like a little bit like resistant. And when you say, I wonder if I'm on the right path, then I know why I feel a little bit separate, like I'm not getting as close to your relatives in heaven as I want. Because when you ask that question, your spirit stands right up. Like I'm talking to your spirit. And one of the things that she shows me is sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, heart chakra. And your spirit is actually going through all three. So use your mind to determine if what you're feeling about this situation is your truth. Because if you are in a relationship with your truth, that would be you and your soul. So if you don't have to argue back and forth with yourself, then you're doing the right thing. The way that you make the decision is if it's your truth, and you don't have to negotiate with yourself to arrive at that truth.
I feel like I really, really wanted his dad to come through. I wanted my Miles's dad to come through, because I'm just trying to get a better connection on, how we can become better communicators and, um, you know, I just wanted to get into his mind because I feel like,
That would be probably better in a one-on-one session, so then we could really dive into the different integral, pieces of the relationship and how that, how you can move that forward or how you can come to clarity on that. That would be better in a one-on-one session with me. But when I ask about if you're doing the right thing, I do feel that your self identification, the relationship you have with yourself, and your heart chakra, all of those things are in play.
mm,
So I think you should keep moving forward until something comes to your root, right? When you know, you know. When you know, you know. And if you don't know, it's not time yet. That's what they say. Does that make sense to you? Your grandma would say
yeah.
something like that? Okay. Um,
Hmm.
all right. So hopefully you and I will be able to make a connection and more of a one-on-one where we can really connect with his dad and figure that out. I do want to just open it up to you guys to see if you have any last questions for your family members before we say goodbye today. And we only have a couple minutes. I know we're a little over. Yes, Ashika.
My dad, can he come say something to me? My dad.
Um, are you the dancer in the family?
Me?
Yeah. Like, do you love to dance?
I do now.
Okay,
I've been
because
dancing more.
when your dad, if this is your dad, he shows me you dancing. Like, that's the first thing in my vision when I invite your dad. I see you dancing, and I see him dancing with you. And first, it looks like it's a fun dance, and you're having a good time in the vision. And then it looks like it's a very serious dance. And you put your, like, if you're at a father-daughter dance or something, or
Yeah.
if you're at the wedding dance. And so and your head is right on his chest. And so it's, I love you, is kind of what he shows me with that.
Thank you.
And Ina, you had a question?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
What kind of signs can we look for when Brian is trying to connect with us? Or maybe just the boys?
Hawks. Oh my God. That I see them right in my vision, like big birds. So big eagles, big birds, like big, big. Those kinds of things. Anything nature. Which one of the boys likes to be in nature all the time? Who's your outdoor kid?
None of them.
Are you?
I mean, I like nature. No one really hikes. Trevor has been walking,
Okay. So he's out doing
just
really
walking.
pretty regularly?
Probably for the past week.
Okay. If he sees, and that's what I thought, I was like on a walking path, but but Brian does show nature things. So like if I'm on a walk and something catches my eye outside, it's
Mhm.
like nature stuff is one of the way that he gets connected to the boys. With you, I think he might talk to you in your brain. Do you hear him?
I don't, it's hard to say if I hear him or if it's my imagination, because I do talk to him and I'll get responses, but
It's not your imagination. Because I asked, what signs are you? What are you for the boys? And he's like, shows me these big hawks and eagles. And then I'm outside and I'm noticing like the clouds have a picture and I notice different things about outside. And so that is kind of what I'm looking at for the boys. And also then when he shows me you, I'm like, well, what about for Ina? And then literally he shows me like one of those, those old fashioned record players. They have that thing that comes up and it's like a spout. It's like the speaker right there. And so he's winding it up and it's in your brain. So literally he's talking to you and that's not That's not your imagination, according to him. So
Okay.
great. And any other questions? Yes, for me. And this is for Barbie.
I'm curious about my son, Jake. What signs, is there any special signs or anything so I know he's around?
You know, he shows me Skittles from heaven. Literally, he's shaking a Skittle tree, and all the Skittles are coming off, which means rainbows, fascinating colors in the sunset. Like anytime that they do that or they show me something like that, it's colors, colors and rainbows and sunsets and like painting the sky for you is really what I'm really looking at too. And somebody with him, um, maybe the one he fishes with, um, sends cardinals, like birds, but cardinals specifically. So so you can kind of take that as being cardinals also. And then the other thing he does is he likes to change the radio station or make your phone skip on a certain song. Like he likes to interrupt your technology.
Okay. So
Okay.
is my papu has transitioned now with him?
And that's your grandpa?
No, my dog.
Okay. Did either of your sons ever have braces?
Yes. Jake did, the one who passed.
Then that's a yes. So yeah, all he has to do is confirm. So you're confirming by saying yes. So that's the answer to your question.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, it has been, and anybody else have a question before I say goodbye today?
I guess
Jose, did
Tina,
we speak to your mom?
no, it was Tina's mom that we were talking to, and we're still kind of confused if we were actually talking to her mom or her best friend who just passed away, because they both had difficulty walking.
Did either one of them have like glaucoma or cataracts or problems with their eyes?
Yes, that was my mom.
Yeah, that's your mom. Yeah, and she just loves you and she like comes up to your face and she just kisses you and yeah, that's your mom.
That was
Yeah.
also my grandma too. She used to go like this too.
Yeah, and well, they love you
Yes.
so much, and so that was really lovely. That I love that vision. Okay, folks, I thank you so much for coming to our spiritual gallery today. This has been so great. I hope to see you again. I do plan on offering these a little bit more regularly, and you can check out my website because I do offer some different things. There's a members section that you can join for $11 a month. It's called the Pure Soul Membership. And we do monthly Zooms where we just get on and chat about different topics of spirituality. And it's so fun and everybody learns so many things and we really enjoy it. So I welcome you to that and hope to see you guys there. Feel so blessed that your family talked to me today and that they allowed me to do that for you. It is them. It is your connection of love to them. And so I really thank you guys for joining and I wish you all a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Nikki, how do we
Bye.
schedule a
Thank you.
one-on-one?
Bye.
You can bye. Thank you. You can schedule a one-on-one on the website.
Okay.
And you just go on and go to the book online option, and then you'll see the different session styles and things that I offer, and just click on it. You can do it right online. Pick a day or time that works for you. And I always tell people if you can't find a time that's convenient, just shoot me a text message or something, and I can help you, and we can
Thank
be
you.
creative.
You're the greatest.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.